Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is Tom here with Hidden Beats, and we're here with the boys from Andre Petitpas and the Giants. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. We're nice and sunny in Nova Scotia today. We just got back on tour. Got back from tour earlier this week and ready for a good summer of maritime gigs. We were out on the road for 3 weeks and had a lot of fun. Played some gigs, had a bunch of meetings, recorded our next studio album, all the while releasing a live album in the process.
Okay, yeah. I mean, last time we got a chance to talk was almost actually a year ago,
Year to the day
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close.
So it's,
I think not.
Yeah.
so it's definitely nice to catch up with you guys again. And for those
man.
who are new to like you guys as artists, do you want to give a little bit of a kind of rundown of the band?
For sure. We've been playing for 7 years as Andre Petitpas and the Giants. Myself and my brother here, we've been playing in a band together for 10, 11, 12 years,
Okay.
at least a decade together. So we've been kind of doing this thing since we were kids. And the band is a genre called Grease Coast rock and roll. It's Southern power pop rock. So
Nice.
it's like the Black Crowes meet bands like Gin Blossoms, kind of that whole 90s nostalgia with a little bit more edge.
No, that's fun too. It's always good to have that energy and that kind of that vibe to things. I like that.
Totally, man. Yeah, it's about keeping music fun, but also having that sound that's very
Recognizable.
It's recognizable, but then organic, you know?
So you said you just got back from touring. Whereabouts did you guys end up?
So we started, our first night was in Charlottetown, PEI. Then we were in Moncton and Fredericton, New Brunswick. And then we went to Montreal, and then we were in Ottawa. Then we did 3 days in Toronto. We were there for meetings. And then we headed to Bath, Ontario. We recorded our next studio album at the Tragically Hip studio, the Bat House. And that was an amazing experience, like probably one of the best times of my career.
Yeah.
And then we went to Burlington, Peterborough, and we ended the tour in Toronto for our live album release at the El Macombo. And
Okay.
did the 18-hour drive back straight.
Mhm.
Got home Monday morning, like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow,
slept
okay.
most of the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had enough of sleeping in hotels and Airbnbs. So we're like, let's just get home. We'll nap when we get there.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was gonna try and get out to the Ottawa show, and I just got distracted doing things and couldn't make it.
Yeah, no, that was a fun show. We had local support by a guy of the name Caspian, and
Yeah.
really cool musician. He's kind of like similar to like the Arctic Monkeys, who are one of my favorite bands. So last time I was in Ottawa, he opened up solo for my solo show, and this time around I was like, okay, you got to come back, but let's do the whole band thing. And the band thing was another level. It was super fun.
Yeah. Where did you guys play here again?
We were at Live on Elgin.
Okay. Yeah.
And the time before that was at the Redbird, new venue in town. Another great
yeah.
spot.
Yeah. One of my colleague photographers is one of the
Laura.
house. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. No, she's wicked.
Yeah.
I get to actually, like, we've talked online, and then I finally get to meet her at the last Redbird show, and absolute sweetheart.
Yeah. She's
I
great.
think she's actually in Finland right now visiting family. So
Yep. That's exactly where she is.
yeah, I seen her leaving there the other day, so I sent her some well wishes.
Hey, it's a small world almost.
It is. And that's the whole musical community, man. Everybody's attached, and that's the reason why you gotta be nice to everyone along the way.
That's for
You
sure.
never know who's there to help you out when you're down, or who you can help out while things are tough.
Yeah, and like myself, so like I'm a photographer by trade
Wicked.
usually, so
Yeah.
these things were new to me for COVID with the interviews, so I got to meet, and like we have a really tight community here for the photographer music scene for sure.
Yeah, no, Ottawa's amazing, man.
So you guys, well, you said you have a new live album coming out.
Yeah.
It's a double album if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, so we just released that last Friday. It was recorded back-to-back nights at the El Macombo back in September. We were on a couple-week tour then, ended the tour on them dates. It was my 30th birthday. This is a year and a half of not being able to go tour, and it's like, well, boys, let's record a live album. We better be up on our
Until
chops.
5 in the morning and do it again tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah. The first night was like, okay, partied at the Elmo till 5 in the morning. We were stupid hungover, but the second night just seemed a lot easier than the first with like nerves and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm usually pretty chill going on stage, but it was like, oh crap, this is kind of big. We gotta be on our game. And then as soon as the first song was done, I was like, all right, now it's just rock and rolling with the boys. It's easy.
And I mean, coming out of COVID, things like that are always a little bit different and confusing, almost
Definitely,
brushing off the rust in a sense.
Yeah, like for us, it was kind of different because unlike a lot of other bands, we didn't stop playing, we didn't stop writing, we didn't stop performing. Every weekend we were doing live streams every Saturday night just to keep connected with our fan base and honestly just to keep the chops up.
Keep our sanity too.
Yeah, like for us, we rehearse every week, and without having that rehearsal, it was like, how do I get this angst out? How do I get all this stuff in my head out?
It's therapy, man.
It's basically music.
Rock therapy.
Music is the therapy that we need, and for us, it was anytime we can play. We just literally did a stripped down show. So for half of the pandemic, we were playing semi-acoustic just so we could get out and play to people, have human contact.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys released your last album kind of right in COVID too. So
yeah, so we initially were going to release it at the beginning of the pandemic, and we waited a year. Like it was like crap. We were supposed to do a handful of dates with Buck Cherry, and we had CMW, and then we had a tour booked across Canada, and then we were supposed to go to Japan to showcase in the October of the first round of the pandemic. That all got canceled, so it was like we got to push it off until we can do it properly, like with the live show. And we finally were like, okay, July 9th of 2021, we're going for it. Whatever happens, happens. And we ended up being able to play some festival shows in the summer, and we're able to tour the Maritimes at least, and then got out as far as Toronto and did the live album while we were promoting this album.
And you got right in that nice gap of like kind of open lockdown, but maybe another one coming. And
definitely, yeah, man. It was one lucky bounce we got in the last few years for sure.
Yeah. How is it feeling now that, you know, festival season's coming up, lockdown's ending, and you guys can, well, you just finished a tour and everything, but with just in general, the feeling in the music scene right now?
And it's still strange. It's like, for me, it's like, this is so refreshing not having to walk around with masks and stuff. But I find like some people are still really weary, and it's still strange times. But I think the majority of people are like, all right, I'm just ready to live my life. We took 2 years of being scared and being kind of locked in our houses. For me, now it's let's go. Whatever happens, happens. Yeah. Like I can't be caged up anymore. I'm super extrovert. I need to be around people.
Yeah, I'm almost like one of those like omniverts that can do either or. So COVID for me wasn't that big of a deal because I could still kind of sit here and do my thing. I work from home anyways, so it's not even like I have to leave often.
No.
But then once I got back into the first couple shows where I was out shooting them, I was like, man, this was very much needed.
It was missed, right? Yeah, that's it. Just the human, honestly, the energy you get from people when you're on stage playing. If you do something fun on stage and people react to it and they're stoked on it, you look around at the boys, it's like, okay, we're doing something right. This is cool. This is fun. I miss this.
Yeah, and one of my first shows back was Big Talent. So that
amazing.
That energy alone right there was like, okay, this is great.
Well, that's it. That was our first festival show, was with those guys at Rock the Hub. First festival show back from COVID. And it was the Sunday night, and Billy Talent was the headliner. And I think Danko Jones was there. It was just Cleopatra. They played right after us. They were a wicked band to catch. Two-piece that was kind of like emo meets Rage Against the Machine.
I've heard the name. I haven't looked them up.
Fantastic, man. Yeah, they're super cool young band. I think they're on tour with Royal Blood right now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in the UK for a while, and just young guys that hit the road and have that sound that's unique to themselves, and it's very down the lines. Like, this is what we're doing. It's loud. It's rocking. It's fun stuff.
No, that's awesome for sure. So you, with the live shows under your belt, is there anything, and the tour done, do you guys have any new festival things lined up, or are you taking a break a bit?
Yeah, so we've got some dates here in the Maritimes. We're doing Area 506 in St. John. That's with Glorious Sons and the Trues, JJ Wild. And then we've got a couple other dates in Nova Scotia. some beer garden stuff at breweries. We actually got to play this weekend at a beer garden, and we're doing a festival called Granville Green. That's always a fun one. It's a free concert that town in Cape Breton puts on every year. They get local sponsors, and it's an all ages thing, and it'll be good. I lived there for 5 years, so it's kind of like a come back home and play to all the people. Nice. And then in September, we're going to head back out to Ontario. We got some festival stuff there. And then continue into the fall. We've got Nova Scotia Music Week, which will segue into our producer coming to the East Coast, Brian Monkhurst. He's coming to finish all the rest of the tracking for the next album with us. So we basically got up to the winter planned and a bunch of meetings in between to kind of figure out what we want to do in 2023.
No, nice. That's good. And it must feel good to have that schedule kind of thing going on and knowing what you're doing for the next little bit.
Yeah, man, it has to be done, because then you can kind of work on your budget, work on where everybody else is going to be, the time to rehearse in between.
And the real reason why we all play music, right?
To do all the back end stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exhausting, but
logistics.
Oh yeah, literally spreadsheeting. That's one of the things that over the last few months, it's like, okay, we got to kind of get into it and be a little bit more organized. This is getting a bit serious now.
Yeah, I hate being organized sometimes, but it's a necessity.
It's a definitely necessary evil, and it makes things a lot easier when you have it all done.
Yeah, and during COVID, Hidden Beats actually expanded, and we're across Canada now, so we have
I seen that
team kind of all over the place, and managing everything there was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I imagine. I seen Halifax got a crew now.
Yeah, I've got Halifax, Winnipeg, Vancouver, Seattle, Texas. Amazing. And I got someone in the UK going on now, so we're working pretty good.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, Alicia would be working at Halifax. She's a fantastic photographer, a friend of ours.
She's actually the photographer on the team.
Yeah, I seen that the other day. That she started working with Hidden Beats, so I'm stoked to hear that.
Yeah, so like when you guys are out there, she'll probably be there.
Yeah, definitely. I have to check in with her. We've got a festival up that way, actually, Trunk 7 Music Festival. Maybe I'll get at her, see what she's doing that weekend, and see what kind of noise we can make.
We're working on some video work out there too, so we got a nice setup going on right now.
Wicked. Yeah, I'll have to check in with her and see how her schedule is that weekend.
So kind of back to the album stuff.
Yeah.
Is your process for coming up with a live album much different than planning out like a studio album? Like, did you kind of pick your songs ahead of time and work that out?
Yeah, we did. So we wanted to do what happened. We used our sophomore album. We went track 1 to 13 to start off the set. And then for the rest of the 9 tracks, we wanted to do 4 songs from our first album. It's kind of like the most popular songs from our first album. And then there was a single. So there was like 3 songs from the album Stay Gold, and then a single called Richelieu. And they're basically ones that over the years have went over well with the crowds. And in all of our live shows, they're just basically like those tunes that everyone requests to hear. So we wanted to have those in there, and then 5 unreleased tracks. So it was kind of like a smorgasbord of all of our stuff for people that know exactly what we're up to. And then for the new people that are like, okay, here's an introduction, here's the presents, here's the future. What are we going to see from these guys? Kind of give it all to them at once.
Yeah, for sure. And do you guys each have specific roles in the band? Like, you might be picking out the tracks and someone else might be picking out lineup, whatever, or do you guys all sit and just kind of go for it?
We make it pretty easy. We just make Andre do it.
Basically, it's like, all right, boys, here's what we're gonna play. I think knowing myself, I read the crowd really well, and I know kind of like the orders of stuff, which will work for me vocally. As transitions to kind of give myself a breath after 5 songs straight, it's like, okay, here, this one's kind of a little bit easier.
Can I make Mark tonight?
Pretty well. See how well we can beat up our drummer around the end of the set. So save a couple of the hardest songs for the end. So it's like, all right, you won't complain until the very last beat.
I mean, being the front man and kind of the namesake, it makes sense that you would be kind of guiding them in that sense.
But yeah, I take a lot of the leadership role, because it's like, if we're going down, I'll take the blame. I know I'm always literally can lean on the Giants anytime. Like I never have a worry about them. It's one of those things where they're not hired guns.
We do it because we like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically it's like a bunch of friends playing music, but we're serious about it. Where
No,
But we want to play bigger stages.
yeah, just
We
keep
wanna
growing.
travel more of the world.
Mhm.
there you go.
Basically grow together rather than okay, here's a hired gun. See ya. Like
Yeah.
let's just do this together.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's
No, fair enough.
Hmm.
If one guy can't make it, that have to happen.
Yeah.
But the
Did you-
gist of it is, oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, did you guys ever end up? You said talk about playing bigger stages. Did you guys ever end up working those shows out with Buck Cherry?
No, because they got postponed for like 2 years, and then they were supposed to do one in Halifax, and we weren't around for it.
Oh, okay.
So I think we were actually in Toronto or something at the time.
Actually, the guy who does their bookings across Canada is one of my friends. And he
Yeah,
does a lot of their stuff.
I think that's Diamond Agency, is it?
I just lost your volume for a minute.
Oh, still there?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, is that the Diamond Mine?
Yeah. Diamond Mine Agency.
Yeah, I've got a memory on me pretty decent.
Yeah.
I haven't
actually
talked to him in
partnered
like
with
2
them.
years. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I do a lot of the extra stuff for him in Ottawa, and I also do some of the external media stuff for him.
Okay, sweet. Does he do other bands too, or is it just more strictly with them now?
Oh no, he's everything. He does right now they're doing a Steve-O tour, like a whole
Nice.
Oh,
jackass
yes, he's
type of
coming to
thing.
Halifax.
And there is something else coming up too. Kenny and Spenny is another one that he's booked
What?
out.
Yep.
So yeah, lots of fun stuff, and there's new big things coming up soon actually.
Amazing.
Mhm.
That's the part of the industry where people don't see is all the behind the scenes stuff that makes these events happen. And
There's
literally
so much.
like all the good promoters and the venues that have to do all the stuff to make sure this event is a success. The hats are always off to that crew.
I literally just lost your audio again. That's weird.
Still there? Check it. Check.
I can see you talking, but I can't hear anything.
Here, I'll unplug this for a second. Okay. How's that?
Not yet.
Nothing yet?
Oh, there we go.
Cool.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right. Yeah, weird.
I'll just edit
Back.
that part out.
Yeah.
Just
Technical
chop it up.
difficulties. Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it, we'll do it live.
One of the things I was curious about is now that you guys have a couple albums under your belt, has your process changed at all when you're coming up with the music? I know you kind of picked your songs and that, but when you started out, has that evolved now as you've gone through?
I think definitely like for this third album, our second album was a lot of just balls to the wall rock and roll. Let's hit that market. Let's hit the high energy rock and roll market so we can sell that live show. And for the third album, I think there's more thought process within the songs. There's a couple ones that hit the heart a little more. There's a couple songs that are just deeper meaning. And I think it's more of a wave of ups and downs rather than straight line. And I think that's us growing as musicians, us kind of thinking what we want to be known for, not just one trick ponies in the rock and roll realm. It's like kind of like how the Tragically Hip can go from balls to the wall, then have a song like Fiddler's Screen.
Mm-hmm.
And for our new listeners or our old listeners to hear and see that, it's like they're not always expecting that. Holy God, that was like 3,000 miles an hour show. I want to connect with the audience on all the different realms.
Yeah, no, that's nice. Do you guys like to put together an album that tells a story, or is it more just a single is the story and the next single is a new story?
Pretty well, yeah. Like for me, writing songs is basically a release of moments and times that I've had. It's just trying getting the pen to the paper to write about what these experiences are. And basically for this upcoming album, it's a lot of the music was written during the pandemic time. So it'll start off at the very beginning of the pandemic, how that stemmed in. I was in Las Vegas. What was it, like a week before the pandemic started? So this first song on the album is going to be a song called Sin City.
Okay.
And then it'll end on a track that kind of finishes at the end of the pandemic.
Okay, no, nice. That's actually one of the questions I had near the end was what new music you guys are working on. So we've already got into that, which is good.
Yeah.
How do you think the music landscape now has evolved with COVID and the explosion of things like TikTok and all the social media things?
Honestly, like with everything, like just everybody's been humbled. Like everybody is so humble. Everybody wants to be there. Like there's not too much like resentment and you know what I mean? Like
Ego's kind of been flattened.
yeah, like you know how you're working something for like 3 or 4 weeks, it gets kind of old. Like it's not old for anybody. So it's nice.
Excitement's there again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing with me. Like TikTok's been driving me nuts. It's one thing that it's too much. Like I don't know. I'm a bit of an old soul, and it's like it's a necessary evil again, like we were talking about. But it's like, man, there's so much garbage. Like there's no filter on it. It's there's just too much. So I prefer Instagram and Twitter for platforms. Yeah, because it's a lot of chatting about things rather than just here's me doing something weird for 10 seconds.
Exactly. I still haven't figured out. Like, I mean, I understand TikTok, but I haven't figured out how I'm going to
approach it.
Put that into my repertoire, just because I don't care that much.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man.
Yeah.
Like I used to like Vine, which was only 6-second videos. Vine was great. And then I don't know. Maybe I'm an old man now. I don't even like the new pants or the new shoes that everyone's wearing, because it's just it looks like we're back in '92. Yeah, people's pants are too baggy and the shoes are too dumpy.
I'm with you there. There's got to be some levels of things.
Yeah, back in our day.
Yeah, back in my day. But I'm like, scrap. Oh, I'm an old man now. This isn't good.
I keep on trying to get my wife to take over the TikTok and kind of do that, and but she doesn't have the patience to try to do my stuff on TikTok. So
I get it. Yeah, yeah, it's a totally different realm, and like you got to give it to the people that are amazing at it and doing that. I need a lesson or two, and if there's anybody out there that can contact me and be like, okay, this is how you get your audience targeted. This is what you need to do. Focus on this. Hit me up.
I mean, I know a couple tricks musicians like should be trying out, but for myself, I don't have any sort of, I don't have music to play with, so I can't really do that.
Yeah.
Like for you guys, if you were to get a song on there with some influencers doing stuff behind it, like reach out to just random TikTok girls and have them doing a dance to it.
Literally, yeah. We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
So we've got a song called Labels, and we were playing Washer Toss. I don't know if you guys play Washer Toss in Ottawa.
Don't.
It's a fun game. It's basically a 1.5 by 1.5 box with a sewer pipe. And you throw washers 20 feet away. Anyways, we're listening to some tunes out there and listening back to the live album. The first time we got to listen to it while it was on Spotify, I was like, let's test if it passes the test. And this Labels came up, and we added like an interlude in that's just a dancey part. I was like, okay, this is what we need to do. Get people to dance to it and repost it. So it's funny that you brought that up, because that's literally one of the ideas that I thought about and forgot, but I'm writing it down now because you said it.
Well, and quite honestly, I've talked to a few people, and Lude out of Australia, he did a remix of a track and just put it on there, and it exploded.
It blew up.
Yeah.
Labels dance TikTok. There we go.
So you got to credit me later when that blows up.
I will. I'll tag you in it. Actually, we need to see you dancing to it.
Okay, if you hit a certain level on that, I'll dance to it. But I'm a big boy and I don't get in front of the camera often. So
bonus points if you dance with your beard.
Do a beard dance?
I can work that out. I'll get the wife to braid it a bit so I have a little bit extra here.
Yes. All right, I'm into it. So we got to reset goal, because we got to see the beard dance.
I mean, I'm dreading this, but if you make it
happen,
happen,
dread the beard.
Hey, if I let it grow out a bit longer, it's a little too hot this year for though.
Love it.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, hopefully you guys hit it, but I'm also kind of saying, I don't want to do that.
All right, so now I'm literally
challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Yeah, I'm like, okay, now it's time to get good on TikTok, because we need to see this happen.
My wife's gonna love that.
So next few days it's gonna happen. Saturday we'll make the TikTok.
Okay.
And I'll be looking out for it. You in it. All right.
Oh man. Though, so I have a few fun questions I always like to ask everybody. Kind of gives a little bit more insight to who you are. And I mean, we've already talked before, so I'm trying to figure out different stuff to ask you.
Yeah.
First things first, what is something on your guys' go-to playlist that people wouldn't expect that you listen to?
Putting on the Ritz.
Okay.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz.
That and Hawksley Workman's Warhol's Portrait of Gretzky.
Okay.
Those are our two pump up jams, and also Snow's Informer.
Gotta love
Joni.
Snow's Informer.
Joni.
George
Jones.
Yeah,
Okay.
George Jones. He's heavy in the playlist.
Nice.
George Jones.
What are you thinking?
We'll get back to it.
Okay. Yeah, I those definitely some good titles for sure, and actually got fun. We actually talked to Hawksley Workman before too, so we got
He's amazing.
Yeah, he was great.
He's
Conway
just,
Twitty.
Conway Twitty's a good one too.
Okay, yeah, Conway Twitty.
Yeah.
It's been a while for that to hit my playlist actually.
Well,
Last time it was probably on Family Guy. Maybe?
Family Guy was where I first heard of his name.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit older, so I've heard him from other things, but
Yeah.
Fair
Well,
enough, fair
our grandparents in their 96 Tercel would have that playing every Sunday.
yeah, my grandparents called it whiskey jack music, where you just kind of sit back and just
Sipping on it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so that's a good one for sure.
Bom, bom, bom.
I always tell people my guilty pleasure one is Nicki Minaj Super Bass, just for
that's a
that
jam.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a jam. I'm into it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, my wife listens to a lot of that stuff, so I'm usually dancing to anything and everything. Something that's catchy, really.
Yeah, anything that's good music is always a nice thing to have.
As bad as it is, lyrics are usually the second thing I look at. Melody is number one, and a good voice. Like,
Yeah,
I can't listen to a band if they don't have a good singer, or if the singer annoys me.
My favorite thing of all time is to actually, when you see someone live and you hear and they have that perfect voice, like almost better than the album.
100%, man.
That's always my favorite thing.
There's nothing better than that.
Mhm. And I embarrass the crap out of my wife with everything I like to sing and dance to. So
So I think we're gonna have a good TikTok relationship of just both of us dancing. That's here it is. We're blowing up on TikTok from dancing.
you know what? Oh, it might actually work. You see just two guys you wouldn't expect doing this type of thing.
I'm into it.
I mean, hey, I'm down to try anything.
All right.
For sure.
All right, let's do it.
Oh man. Another question I have, and this is a bit more of a thinker. You guys have done a few interviews now. What's one thing that you wish was asked more in interviews that's not asked enough?
Huh.
Not necessarily specific to you, but just in general in the way of an interview.
I
Mhm.
know, Andre, you're too shy, but your conditioner. Just never asked enough about what conditioner you use.
Honestly, I wouldn't even think to ask that since I don't have hair.
Fair enough. Fair
Well,
enough.
for that one, it's like, well, I won't shower, or I'll shower, but I won't wash my hair for 5 days. I'll just
Okay.
use shampoo and conditioner once a week. You just wake up and let it go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Honestly-
apparently that's what you're supposed to do with hair is you don't wash it every day and you kind of just have
Let
that.
it do its thing.
Yeah.
Natural oils.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, for real, for me, it's like, why do you keep doing this? What's the reasoning behind wanting to pursue music as a career? And see, that's one I still think of every day. That is hard for me to answer, but it's one thing that when I'm talking to someone that's a musician, it's like, why are you doing this? Is it passion for the songs? Is it passion for the road? Is it you've been doing it so long that you feel like you have something to prove? I think that's a good question to ask musicians myself.
Yeah, and I like
A
that one
scary
too.
question, really.
For
It's
some
a
it
scary
can be, yeah.
question. Yeah. I think that.
Well, okay, here. Why do you guys do this then?
Cause I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep.
You need
I
a
mean that
bass
too,
player.
yeah.
Basically, yeah, it's like I've never wanted to do anything else. When I was 6, I had one of those school books where it says, "What do you want to do when you're older?" And
Okay.
6 years old, it was, "I want to be a singer."
Nice.
And that was, I've never sung professionally. Like, I never took a lesson in my life. I never like took any vocal lessons, vocal coaching. It's like, okay, I just like music and I want to emulate what this guy's doing. Always loved movies, so like voices and stuff. I was always a fan of just trying to act like that person.
Mhm.
Anything kind of entertainment realm.
Yeah, we come from like a family that it's not very musical. Like our grandmother plays accordion and stuff, but we do have a lot of like hostess and a lot of people that just like to have a good time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I guess
The
it's
entertainment
pretty
now.
infectious.
Yeah.
Well, and out in the Maritimes, the kitchen parties and things like that are a big thing.
Pretty,
So
yeah, it's
Totally,
pretty
man.
critical to have a funny bone.
We had a friend of mine. He lives in Australia, and he just came here for the first time in like 7 years, about a month ago, and proposed to his fiance, his now
Okay.
fiance, and it was her first kitchen party. So she was like, "Wow, this was amazing."
yeah,
They hired me to play for the party, and it was like, "Okay, this is fun. I understand why Nova Scotia is such a good time."
yeah, it's a different feeling. Like I've never really been to a kitchen party, but I can just get with the way you
Understand.
guys talk about things like that. It's a different
Yeah.
feeling for music, and I feel that through the way you guys explain things.
Totally, man. Like it was probably 2 months ago. We had a party at my house, and I think it was about 25 musicians showed up, and we were literally just sitting in my living room on the floor, passing a guitar around. We had probably 6 guitars. We had a cajon, tambourine, shakers, and it'd be like,
Mhm.
"Okay, play one of your songs," and we'll all sing along. Play one of your songs. There's piano set up.
Nice.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like I wasn't really part of that one, but I was there. And like for me, just watching it, like seeing everybody like they did that and everybody else knew what was going on. It was almost like religious experience.
It's cool.
Like
Mhm.
it's seriously just like this is possible in life.
Yeah,
Like to just
Yeah.
have people hang out and play music, like a lot of people.
yeah. Like he lives about 45 minutes away from me.
Okay.
And at my house, that it happens quite a bit that we just land here after a gig or after one of the friend shows. So it's like, just come over, we'll jam out, we'll hang out. So a lot of the time it's just people singing their songs or showing new music that they're working on, which is one of my favorite things to do. It's like, hey, got anything new? Show me something fresh. Like, let's throw ideas back and forth, see what works, what doesn't, what can improve on. And for myself, that's one of my favorite things. I love the production side of music. Love trimming the fat or like finding a cool idea that'll make a part in a song stick out better than what the original part was.
And there's nothing like just that old school feel of just having fun with music too.
No, exactly, man.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we still do it. It's like, okay, for the time we're on stage, we're literally just having fun with our friends and here's something new, trying something new each night, or doing a part as a joke. This guy will do, there's a little part in one of our songs that it's just probably a 2-second bass interlude, and he'll do something different every time. So it's a big stop. I'm like, okay, what's he gonna do tonight? Sometimes he'll just do like a boom, and sometimes it'll be like a and I'm back in like, all right, cool, man.
Yeah, it's always good to be a little bit fresh.
Exactly, man. That's there's a lot of jam bands around this area.
Definitely another thing to strive for. We don't like go up on stage and just
Stick to the script fully. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's that's why you record songs
Yeah.
so that they're like this, and
And then the
show
live
is
show's a little different.
something totally different.
Mhm.
Might be
Mhm.
great, might be terrible, but that's the risk we're willing to take.
It's tightroping between a shipwreck and a
Yeah, exactly. And where else, why not test it out in front of people and see how it is too?
exactly, man. That's the thing about live. It's different every night. It's like, well, if it didn't go over well that night, there's another show tomorrow.
Mhm.
And
Now-
I think too many people are scared to try things that are new, and I'm not
Yeah.
about that.
And like, especially you get people all like the cancel cultures and all weird things. You try something different and someone freaks out about it. And
Yeah,
That's it, man. Life's too short to be tiptoeing around everything. It's like, here's me, here's what I'm doing. Sorry if I offend anyone.
yeah,
I'm as polite as I can be to anybody. And if you take offense to it, it's not my intention.
yeah. And in all honesty, I've grown to the point where I don't have very many fucks left to give. So I gotta get.
You almost ran out of the fucks to give. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I'm there, man.
Mhm.
There's days where I'm like, pulling my hair out, like, okay, why are you doing this? We can't get a break, blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
Yeah.
all right, breathe, dude. You'll figure it out like you always do.
I have those moments sometimes I'm out with my wife and I don't take kindly to stupid and
No.
someone who doesn't do their job specifically in a store properly or something like that.
Yeah,
And-
especially if they've been working there for a while, right?
Yeah. And like, so I used to work at Best Buy once upon a time and
Yeah,
I know the process. So when I go into Best Buy, I expect certain things.
gotcha.
And if someone comes up and doesn't do something, I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's like that's the same thing. I used to work at a gas station. It was my first job. And actually, I had a Petro can, and we were in somewhere in Scarborough earlier this week, getting fuel, and it was like $200, and my card wouldn't scan. And I'm like, I just want the points. He's like, just punch in the number. He's like, you can't do that. I'm like, yeah, you can. I was like, I can go behind there and show you.
Yeah.
Like, I know exactly how it works. He's like, oh, you can get the app and download that. I'm like, the app's not working right now. I have no service. Like, just punch in my numbers. I know it's
do the
possible.
right thing, sir.
Yeah.
Do the right thing.
Our sound guy, he's our touring sound guy. He won't take no for an answer when it comes to anything technical. It's like, we'll go to a festival and it's like, we play with in-ear monitors and they're like, no, it's a quick changeover. You guys could use these monitors. It's like, no, do the right thing. The show's going to be better if the boys have their proper setup. It's going to take 2 seconds for you to unplug at the back of that monitor to plug into our in-ear rack. And it's like, okay, I'm here to help you, not try to make things difficult. I'll plug them back in. And it's a matter of just talking to the people for like 2 minutes and just getting on their level. People are so worked up with their jobs.
I love how you guys just did that unison no there too. That was perfect.
Brotherly love.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the Matthew Lawrence show either.
Oh man. So one of the last questions I have, and I always like this one because it leaves it on a note for, other artists and stuff like that. What's a piece of advice that you guys were given coming up in music that's kind of held tightly to you?
It's success doesn't happen overnight. It's like keep pushing ahead no matter what gets in your way. It's the roller coaster. Like there's so many highs and lows that you can't focus on the lows because it's going to come right back up if you keep that mind steady and keep pushing towards that goal. Basically set the goal, go for it.
Nice. Yeah. Enjoy the journey is kind of the
exactly,
way
man. Yeah, that's literally, there's a lyric in our sophomore album, No Fools, No Fun, and that's the very first lyric. She always said, enjoy the journey, don't worry about where you're going.
Nice.
It's like, because you're going to end up all these different places. Just make the best of the situation that's in front of you, especially stuff you can't change.
Yeah.
For me, like I learned that 5 years ago. I was 25. I was like, okay, accept what is and make the best of it and just plug along. That's all you can do.
I mean, yeah, life does what it's going to do. So it's
so unpredictable,
yeah.
Especially with the pandemic happening. It was like, oh shit, everything I planned for the last year and a half, down the drain. Here comes a new strategy coming up in the next week, boys.
And it was bad too, because you're like, okay, 6 months, we're going to start doing something. And then nope. And then nope. And then nope. And
that's it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely stressful times, but to get through it and be a better band because of it, I think it's helped us a lot more than it hurt us. It helped us grow our fan base, kind of see what worked and what didn't with live streaming and with any of the promotional stuff we were trying. So I think it was a lot of eyes are all on you. So do what you normally do or do something new and figure out what works.
Yeah, for sure. And it gives the time, like it gave us everyone a few minutes to take a breath and figure something out.
Figure out your everyday life.
Yeah.
Like figure out which works. That's totally it. Like I'm a much better person because of this pandemic.
Yeah, I'd
mentally
say same here actually.
Yeah, it gave you a chance to breathe. Like, man, my mind races a million miles a second, and that literally got me to slow down when it could have been bad,
Yep. Creative probably goes through that where you got so much going on. I know it. I'm up till 2:00 in the morning every morning, usually working, and wake up by 8 to start working on something.
Exactly,
I just
man.
can barely sleep sometimes.
Yeah, well, you just have so much going on in your head, so much you got to get done. And it's like there's not enough hours in the day. And I feel you exactly 100%. I know where the mind is at. You got so much on your plate that you got to get it done. And the only way to get it done is to do it. Work those long hours and do it.
Yeah, my biggest thing right now is we dropped a clothing line. So I'm trying to manage all that. Like this hat actually is one of the designs.
I was going to say, I really love that. Did you drop it on Indigenous Day yesterday?
So I've actually had it out for like a month now, and every sale of this line goes to support, there's profits go to support Indigenous causes.
Amazing, dude.
And they're all my own designs too, actually.
If you can send me the link, that'd be killer, because I'd like to get a hat.
Oh, 100%.
I'm a hat guy.
There's 5 hats, 5 designs, 5
Sick,
colors,
man.
a lot of choices.
Okay, sick. Yeah, definitely like to pick one up.
Yeah, I'll definitely send it off to you. Actually,
Appreciate it, brother.
there's a sale going on right now too, so you're in luck.
Woo! Love it.
Last point I have, I guess, to piggyback off the last one is with everything that you guys have learned now, is there more specific advice you could give to someone coming up in the music industry that kind of you think?
Honestly, just use your ears. Take every bit of advice that people give you. And always be learning. Always try to improve your game. Work on new material. Work on, is this song good or is this crap? Do I like it because it's self-indulgent? Show it to your friends. See what works. Take the advice. Take the critical advice and don't take it to heart. Take it as growth. And I think that's, for me, has been one huge thing growing up as a musician. It's like, all right, this song might work, but it might not. I'm going to ask my peers and see if it works. And I'm like, I want the honest opinion, what works. And literally before we left for tour, we stopped in to see the Divorcees. They wanted to chat with us. They're a country band out of Fredericton.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, they're amazing. So they did their bar set right before or right after we did a set for a festival in Fredericton, and we got to chat with the boys. They wanted to hang out after, and they recorded their second album at the Bat House, and they just words of advice and stuff. That's always my favorite thing, when your peers will just share a story or share a little bit of advice. It's like, I'm a sponge. I want to soak in everything. That you guys make the path so much easier to travel once I know what to do and what not to do. I think that's the most important thing, is to just soak it all in.
And that's kind of why I leave this at the end for everybody to get that type of advice.
Totally, man.
If you treat every experience as a lesson, it's gonna really push you, and you'd be surprised how much further you go when you have that mindset.
Yeah, totally.
You could be insecure and take it at that way.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, people say stuff because they mean it.
Yeah.
You know, and if the thing is that somebody says you suck, then maybe that means that you should never talk to that person again.
Yes. And sometimes they're hateful. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's or if you play a show that nobody's there, you can't beat yourself down. It's like, how do I do better next time? I'm going to work with a local band that has a good draw. I'm going to find a good promoter. I got to work harder. And I think a lot of bands get down on that. It's like, well, nobody came to my shows. Like, did you work hard enough to promote it? Did you do the right things? Did you contact radio? Did you get PR? And people don't realize all the steps you got to take to make that growth. And there's so many things along the way that helped us grow and helped us kind of think like, okay, it's not me and my music that sucks. Maybe it's my promoting or my bookings that haven't been great.
Yeah, promotion definitely just is
key.
It's crazy. Like, well, you think of all the bands from the 70s that you know now.
Yeah.
Right? All those ones are good at promoting.
Yeah.
That's why you still know them.
Yeah, exactly.
Promoting,
that name's got to be in the ear all the time.
And I've seen that on the outside a bit, working with the promotion side, and watching some of these bands come in and have, well, especially locals. That's the one thing I can never understand. You're a local band opening for someone. You've been doing this for a bit. You should have your friends there at least.
100%. And your friends should want to be there to help you.
Yeah. And I find
or get new friends.
Yeah. Well, I find that some people just really have a hard time doing that and
phone it in.
It's kind of difficult to choke down saying, listen, guys, you're trying to do something, but you're not doing it.
You're not doing your job. As a local band, if you're there and a band's in town, you try your darndest to pack that place. And then next time you go out on the road and you need a band to support you while you're there, you know who to call, and they should do the same thing for you.
Yeah.
Scratch your back, I scratch your back.
Only you grow.
Yeah.
Great advice. Great advice to leave off on for sure.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty much all I have for you guys. It was a good time to just chat, really.
Yeah, no, that's been great. Good catching up with you. And next time we're in Ottawa, we'll have to catch up and grab a dozen beer.
I mean, I'm down. I haven't had a dozen beer in a while.
I'm probably going to have a dozen beer tonight. We play at an outside stage in roughly an hour and a half. So it's one of their first events at Blue Lobster Public House, it's called. Okay. So they're a distillery literally down the road from where I moved last summer. And their outside stage is ready to get some noise We're gonna do that, and it's a friend's birthday tonight, so I'm using it as a little bit of a summer inspiration to have a good time.
Nice. I can't do the good time yet because I got to be up at 8 o'clock in the morning still to do some work. But
fair enough. I'll wake up hungover.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do it a little bit later.
I can't do the hungover thing, and I got to go to an appointment in the morning too, so I got to be a little bit coherent.
Got you, man. No, that's being an adult and responsible is good too.
I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it too. That's why I'm like, okay, maybe I can just be a musician for the rest of my life, and I'll grow up when I'm about 80 when I have to stop being a musician.
Who needs to actually grow up, really?
To work on the pension.
Modern day Peter Pan. That's
Exactly
who I strive to be.
Yeah. Well, anyways, guys, I mean, that's like I said, that's all I have.
Yeah, man. Great chatting with you.
Is there any kind of final notes you want to leave to your fans? Where to catch your stuff? And
yes, so catch the new Live at the Elmo album wherever you stream. It's 22 tracks, 5 unreleased that we were talking about, and stay tuned for a bunch of material from that live show. We've got a bunch of photos and videos we're going to be sharing on our socials.
Okay.
We're super active on Instagram, so for daily, you want to check what we're up to every day. Go check out the stories there. And in the next year and a bit, you're going to see another new studio album, and we'll be heavy on the tour circuit there in the next year.
Nice. I'll make sure to link everything so people have a quick access there.
Wicked, man. Thanks a million. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. I loved it, and we'll definitely have another chat.
Yeah, brother.
Awesome.
Sweet. Yes, send me that link too when you get a chance. And,
I'll do it as soon as we
get
get top off here for sure.
Awesome, man.
Enjoy your night.
I will. Chat to you soon.
Have a good one.
Later, man.
Bye.